In the beginnings of Gen 3 VGC, when the first viability rankings came out, Medicham sit at the bottom of the C tier, considered nothing more than a gimmick, outclassed by 6 other fake-out users: Ludicolo, Hariyama, Kangaskhan, Shiftry, Persian, and Dugong. A long time has passed since then, the meta has changed a lot, but even the current community-made tier list only has it in B tier, below mons like Pinsir and Heracross. This might seem odd to you, because Medicham has a speed tier that makes it faster than Metagross and Snorlax, and it isn't weak to Psychic like its main competition, Hariyama. Although good on paper, these traits are not as good as they sound. It is unable to OHKO Snorlax or to hit KO Metagross, and both of them OHKO it back if they are banded. Besides outspeeding those two, it is slower than most of the offensive mons of the metagame. It is 2 hit KO'd by Psychic from Latios and Latias, just like Hariyama. It is also a roll to get OHKO'd by Modest Magnet Zapdos or Mystic Water Starmie, and it is always OHKO'd by Banded Tauros, Overheat from Arcanine or Moltres, Earthquake or Boomerang from Marowak, and Hidden Power Flying from Gyarados. Even with the high attack it has, there is only a 62% chance to OHKO Starmie and a 6% chance to OHKO Latios. So the only top tier mons it can OHKO are Gengar, who many mons can OHKO anyway, and Tyranitar and Spedef Clefable, who are not the most common. So is that it? Is Medicham just too frail to be a fake-out user, and its sky-high attack not helpful enough because of the low base power of its attacks? For a long time, this was the case, with Medicham never seen the battlefield, especially with the rise of Kangaskhan. The trio of Ludicolo, Hariyama, and Kangaskhan were the go-to fake-out users for standard teams, and on occasion you would see Shiftry in some teams. Medicham was considered the best fake-out user besides those 4, but in every team they would fit better. However, in recent times, there has been a Medicham renaissance. Its usage has risen ladder with 2 different sets. We will be discussing the 2 sets of Medicham and why people are using them over the other fake-out users. First, let's discuss the most used Medicham set: Fake-out, Brick Break, Hollow Wall, Detect, with White Hair for Intimidate and Icy Wind. Why would you use this over any of the top 3 fake-out users? It's not so much about Medicham, but about Medicham's partner and the partner's checks. The 2 most common substitute users, Latios and Zapdos, pair very well with fake-out users, who can allow them a free turn to set up as substitute. They both have problems with Snorlax, who can just eat their hits and hit them back. Ludicolo is helpless at helping them with Snorlax, and Kangaskhan can try to join it, but often it costs too many turns to deal with lags by this method. Hariyama does hit Snorlax for a lot of damage, but Brick Break from Hariyama into Thunderbolt from Zapdos, or into Psychic from Latios, is not enough to kill Snorlax. For Hariyama to accomplish this, it needs Cross Chop, which has an unreliable 80% accuracy. On top of this, Cross Chop is an egg move it gets from the Machamp line, so it cannot be used alongside Helping Hand, an egg move it gets from Volbeat. Having both Fake Out and Helping Hand is a big part of Hariyama's niche, so missing out on it is massive. Medicham can accomplish this double up 2-hit KO with Brick Break, which is accurate and doesn't make it lose any tool. Another great thing about Medicham is the speed tier, not only because it can afford to be faster than Metagross, but because it doesn't need speed beyond that. With the extra EVs from not going max speed, it gets enough bulk to survive some hits that would otherwise be able to kill it. For example, Meteor Mash from Metagross goes from a 37% chance to OHKO to never KOing from fall. Tauros' Hidden Power goes from a 56% chance to OHKO to 12%. So it has to think twice if you have a Gengar in the back. Modest Magnet Zapdos goes from 31% chance to OHKO to never doing so. And there are many more calcs like this. It also deals with the lattice much better than the other fake-out users. thanks to Shadow Ball. It has a 62% chance to OHKO Starmie, something none of the top 3 Fake Out users can accomplish, unless you are the very rare max special attack, modest, miracle seed, hidden power grass Ludicolo. Shadow Ball also allows it to OHKO Gengar, something the other Fake Out users cannot. Another great part of Medicham is how well it pairs with Icy Wind. It allows it to outspeed and OHKO many faster mons usually scared, like Latios, Gengar, Starmie, Tauros, and some Latias, depending on the Icy Wind user. A weak one will not be able to accomplish this. But this isn't the only set Medicham can run. There is another Medicham set, with way more risk and way more reward. Endure Reversal. This set aims to self-activate the Salak with Medicham's partner, or to get activated by the opponent. Fake Out, Reversal, Shadow Ball, Endure with Salak. Thanks to the Salak, it can afford to run Adamant, although this means it is slower than Jolly Metagross. There are some partners who have just enough attack to always activate the Salak with Earthquake but never KO in Medicham, like Choice Band Pinsir or Jolly Choice Band Metagross. Choice Band Snorlax can get a similar effect, but it is not strong enough to guarantee Reversal will reach 100 base power at least. On top of this, Snorlax is lower than Medicham, so you cannot bring Medicham down to get the extra power on the same turn, and often you might end up KOing your own Medicham after your opponent attacks it first. Another way of activating Salak and reaching max reversal power is through enduring your own explosion. Any explosion, even from weak mons like Gengar or Regice, is guaranteed to bring Medicham to 1 HP with Endure. This set, of course, is worse as support. Not having max power from the beginning means it cannot get the double ups which it would be able to with Brick Break, like Clefable, Swampert, Tyranitar, Snorlax, and others. We can't talk about Medicham without mentioning the top 3 Fake Out users, and why you would put Medicham over them in your team. Ludicolo has the best typing of the 3, being one of the few mons who can wall Metagross. It also has access to Icy Wind. It's an Earthquake resist and Hydro Pump hits hard. One of the main enemies of Ludicolo are the Latias. They wall it and can stop Icy Wind with Substitute. Zapdos is also a problem for it, blocking Icy Wind with Substitute and installing out the few Hydro Pump PP with Sub Protect alongside Pressure. And to top it all, White Hair is often used in some fast mons like Gengar or Medicham, who would ignore the Icy Wind. Of course, some Ludicolo run Ice Beam over Icy Wind, but those Ludicolos have way less support than the Icy Wind variations. Hariyama has the already mentioned problems. It is not strong enough to get double ups into Snorlax without Crush Chop. HP Ghost, if it were to run it, is not gonna KO the Latias unless you have a lot of chip into them. The low speed also means it often gets KO'd by Metagross before it can hit it back. It is also notable that it cannot break Zapdos ever. It cannot even 3-hit KO Zapdos with HP Ghost if Zapdos has no bulk, and if Zapdos is max HP, it's most often not gonna be able to 4-hit KO it. It will need a lot of max rolls. And lastly, Kangaskhan. John is an amazing move for pressuring your opponents, but Kangaskhan can easily get stopped by Lumberry Metagross, the most common set, or even by substitute users. It is not strong enough to scare your opponents if you are not Johnning, so it can end up being too passive as your opponent just ignores it. Medicham doesn't suffer any of these shortcomings. If there is something Medicham isn't, it's weak. No mon can wall it, few mons can even survive 2 hits. So, where do I consider Medicham to be in the tier list now? Personally, I have it moved all the way up to A-, above Hariyama and just below Kangaskhan. Other of the best players of Gen 3 VGC place it between B+ or A+. And to close off this video, I wanted to tell you that this Sunday, 14th of May, at 8 PM GMT or 4 PM Est, the 8th Aura Cup will happen, the most important Gen 3 VGC tournament. I will be defending my title as the winner of the last iteration. Anyone can participate, just join the Discord in the description. And so, that is the end of the Medicham video. Goodbye.